The starting point for the Epistemic Insight Initiative is the idea that when you get to secondary school, firm boundaries between the subjects can leave children with the puzzle of how to make sense of all of these fragments of knowledge if they try to bring them together to address big questions like, why does the universe exist? And is there a purpose to life? And if so, what is it? And can a robot be a good friend? Now, as a teacher in primary school, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, but I'm not in a secondary school and I already do lots of cross-curricular teaching, so clearly I'm okay. But actually, our role in primary is even more important because we have the opportunity to future-proof children for everything that's to come. And when children get to secondary school, what they're really going to need to know is how to relate the questions they meet in science with the questions they meet in their other subjects, and for now and in particular, in RE. Okay, so let's start with the idea that in RE, in religious education, we ask big questions about why the universe exists. And in exploring answers, we might be including a consideration of what some of the religions would tell us are the answer to this important question. And in religious education, we might also be very happy to include looking at what scientists would say, to look at a whole mixture of different perspectives on this big question. That's the big question we're going to think about in the RE classroom. How are we going to describe the questions we meet in science to give children a comparison so that they can make sense of what they're meeting in each of those two classrooms? Well, if the questions in RE are big questions, then I'm going to put it to you that the questions in science are small questions. And you might think, that's a bit insulting. Goodness gracious, small questions when science does such a lot for us? Well, you can fiddle about with the language a little bit. You might prefer precise questions or tightly framed questions. We'll come back to the exact wording in a minute. But for the moment, I'm going to make the contrast big questions in RE and small questions in science. And then I'm going to say that a helpful way for children to relate the questions they meet in each of those classrooms is to say that we can investigate small, precisely framed questions in science. And these will inform how we think about those big questions that we meet in RE. And so science is interested in those big questions, but it does accept that actually they're going to be very difficult to investigate scientifically, if not impossible, at least for now. And so in science, with pride, we frame questions very carefully. We frame them so that they're the kinds of questions that we can answer well using the methods that we have available to us in science. And in science, we're quite fussy about what those methods are. For example, if you're a historian, then you're very comfortable with looking at the evidence that you can glean from testimonies, from letters, from diaries, from newspaper articles written in the past. As a scientist, I'm only really happy with making direct observations. So if I want to investigate why the Titanic sank, I'm going to start by creating a model of the Titanic and a wave tank. I'm going to want to test out some hypotheses about what might have happened. In history, I'm interested in looking through the lens of the past to understand what people were doing and thinking at the time. I'm not going to be able to observe them directly and test hypotheses by getting them to do some different things at my bidding. And so I'm open to exploring a wider range of forms of evidence than I am in science. That kind of thinking, those differences between the ways of knowing that we can teach people in primary school, That's going to really help our young people when they get to secondary school. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy even for children who are much older to do. And now I'm suggesting it's something that we can start when we're in primary. So we're going to need to strip it down to its basics to begin with and go back to the national curriculum and really deconstruct what are some of those questions, methods and norms of thought that we are being encouraged by the curriculum to ask when we're thinking scientifically and, in comparison, when we're thinking about the way that religions ask big questions. And since we may not be religious, we can ask those big questions, religious or not. We just will have different ways of answering them.